All right, y'all. Here we are at the iron, and we're gonna press this waistband. The first thing I want you to do is start at these short ends. You can see our little line there. And what I want you to do, if it's easier, you can orient this way this time. There's our line. These lines are guides. I want you to fold this raw edge to where it just touches that line. See how that looks? Just touch it. Let's see if I can get it to zoom in for a second. Just like that. All right. And then, carefully, you can kind of press it with your fingers a little bit. And then you want to take the iron and steam it. You don't want to push down with the iron because that'll slide your fabric around. You just lightly, the iron's heavy. It'll press enough by itself. You just do that, and that should press down for you. Do that on both of the short ends. You fold this up so it just touches that line. And then you press it. Remember that every part of the iron is hot. You don't have to sit this part on it. You can use the toe of it. That's what this part's called. The toe of the iron. Tip also. All right. Now the next thing that you're gonna do, once you press both your short ends, they should look like this now. And you wanna make sure you're pressing them to the same side. Conveniently, you have marks on the side you're pressing them towards. But you can't press one way and one the other and have this work out right. Everything you're pressing needs to be pressed towards this marked side. So let's start doing the long sides. Next step of this, sorry, I'm all tangled up here. There we go. Is to take this thing right here, and you want to do the same thing we just did. You just want to fold this little edge up to that line. Just barely touch it. You see how that lines up like that? Oh, doing that out of frame. My apologies, y'all. Better? How's that look? You just want to fold it up to there and just touch that line. And then you'll press it. So I'm going to start down here on the end and work my way back this way. See, I've just folded that up to the line. And I've got a little bit folded and I can hold it in place with my fingers. I'm gonna take my iron and just gently sit it on there and press it. Again, you don't wanna slide too much. But now that you've got the iron in place, you can use it as an extra hand and you can use the torque to just fold that up. See how that works? I'm pulling just a little and folding that up. Now you don't wanna pull hard and stretch anything. It's the hardest part about sewing is finesse. You don't want to stretch things. Once you press a little bit of this, you can slide it down and press a little bit more. You've already got this crease down here. You just work from there. Get a little bit folded up. And again, use your iron kind of like a hand. Let it hold things for you. And I'm gently pressing. I'm not pushing down on the iron very hard. I don't want to move my fabric. I just want to press it down. Now, sometimes your cords will get caught down here, y'all. It is really annoying. I apologize. It is quite a design flaw of this situation. But you have to be careful not to sit your iron back on the cords when you move it back. So always make sure you're grabbing these and pulling them out of the way. You can melt the water tube or the electrical cord. Neither of those is really ideal. So you move it down some more and press. Hopefully you get the picture now. Best to make sure things are laid out nice and flat before you start. save yourself as many fights as you possibly can. So what you'll do is you'll continue to do this all the way down to the end, and then you'll come around and you'll do the same thing on the other side. You'll bring this down, but you can turn the whole project around at that point. So as you're coming back across, you're working on this side, folding it up. I'll show you what it looks like when you get done in just a second. Okay, when you're done pressing, your waistband should be looking like this. You got your short end pressed in and both your long ends all the way down. It's a long waistband, y'all. There we go. Now the next step is to take this piece and fold it in half like this. And you want to make these ends touch very evenly. And you want to press that in half. This is the last step of pressing the waistband. So I'm going to zoom in some here, readjust, and you can see that I'm trying to line my edges up perfectly of this folded edge here. When I feel like I've got it pretty good, I'm going to take this iron and I'm going to press it. And then I'm going to move it a little farther down. I'm going to zoom out for this now that you can see the process. You can press a little bit at a time with this, but again, you want to make sure nothing's hanging over. You want that edge right there to be really even. And you just keep this up down the entirety of the waistband. Make sure that this edge is staying even though. You can use your left hand to control it while you're driving with the iron. See, I'm a little off there. I want to make sure that, there we go. And do that all the way to the end. And when you get done pressing everything in half, you should have a folded waistband that looks like this. If you open it up, that's where we started. And now you folded it in half. And it should be a nice folded in half waistband all the way down. Mine's misbehaving a little bit because it's caught. There you have it. That's what you need to do to press your waistband.